All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick's Strength and Power. So in this video, I want to talk about Kevin Levrone's comeback at the 2018 Arnold Classic in Australia. Now, it's Saturday morning right now, so that means the Arnold Classic in Australia happened late last night, or, well, technically early in the morning if you lived in the U.S., because there's such a massive time difference between Australia and here. It really threw off the schedule for a lot of us trying to watch it and those of us trying to cover it. I think the live stream started somewhere around 3 a.m. Eastern time in the U.S. So this is Kevin Levrone's first appearance on a pro stage since the Olympia in 2016, and he has recently said that this is going to be his last ever show, regardless of how he places. Now, I did just look at the scorecards, and Kevin Levrone actually didn't get dead last year. He got 13th place, and he beat one guy, Darren Onakawa. Now, again, I think Kevin Levrone just showing up and looking a little bit bigger than the Olympia appearance was a victory for him. Honestly, I was debating on going to the Arnold Australia and making that, 15-hour flight to get there. And I wasn't going to go to see, Bonac versus Dexter round 2. The main reason I would go to Australia is because this was going to be Kevin Levrone's last show ever, which I think a lot of us wanted to see. So how did Kevin Levrone actually look? Now, I posted a couple of pictures on my Instagram and let you guys kind of vote and post your comments on how you think he looked. And I didn't give my opinion. I just let you guys post your opinions on how he looked. And it seemed to be a pretty overwhelming consensus that a lot of people were disappointed by how Kevin Levrone looked. So how did Kevin actually look? Now, in my opinion, there's a couple of things to take notice of. Number one, Kevin Levrone was significantly bigger, in my opinion, than the Mr. Olympia competition. But that being said, I think anybody who knows anything about bodybuilding, or even somebody just off the street, could look at Kevin Levrone and could probably tell his conditioning was significantly off the mark. Now, what do I think happened here? So to be honest with you guys, I think Kevin Levrone came in bigger on purpose and sacrificed his conditioning on purpose, because I think at some point during his prep, Kevin Levrone realized the legs aren't coming back. I think it was obvious to all of us that watched a live stream or saw the videos or photos of Kevin from the 2018 Arnold Classic that the legs were gone. The legs just aren't going to respond, and at this point, he's just not going to be able to bring them back to what they were. Now, with that being said, I think minus the conditioning, I think from a size standpoint, Kevin Levrone was actually very impressive. I was actually pretty impressed by the size he was able to bring, even though he wasn't that conditioned. So from the front, I would say, from the standpoint of delts and arms, Kevin Levrone was very, very similar to how he looked, years and years ago. I think Kevin Levrone really hit the nail on the head in terms of his delts and his arms. He was able to bring those back, I would say somewhere even close to maybe 90 to 95% of what they used to be. So arms and delts, very, very impressive by Kevin Levrone. I'd say overall, even more so disappointing than the legs, I would say would be Kevin Levrone's midsection. The midsection, not only was the conditioning bad, but just the sheer amount of water and almost fat even that he was still holding in his midsection was probably the biggest disappointment to me. I kind of expected the legs to not come back. I thought based on the Olympia, we probably weren't going to see the legs come back to anything near what they were. But the midsection thing was something I just was not expecting to see here. But overall, I would say if coming in bigger was Kevin Levrone's goal, then he was successful in that regard. I think the legs were a little bit improved from the Olympia, but I think his conditioning at the Olympia was so much better that even though he was smaller at the Olympia, he looked much better at the Olympia than he looked here. So let me know in the comment section below what your guys' thoughts are on Kevin Levrone's comeback, how he looked, how he did, his conditioning. My 2 cents, again, would be mainly the conditioning was the number one thing that I would say was off for me. A whole lot of water being held, especially in the midsection. And the number 2 biggest thing I would say is obviously the legs are just not coming back, and that it is what it is. So thank you guys for watching the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.